Hey, welcome to the video. My name's Hayden. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you can estimate how much you should be spending on your PPC in terms of your revenue. So what percentage from your revenue should you be spending on PPC? If you don't know who I am, my name's Hayden. I'm the founder of ClickFox, an Amazon PPC agency where we manage people's PPC. And I recently sold my brand for 6 figures, currently building a new one. Now, when it comes to spend on PPC, a lot of people think that the best way to do this is as little as possible, right? Let's get that TACOS as low as possible. Let's get that ACOS as low as possible. Let's get that spend as low as possible and just try and get as many organic sales as possible. Now, as much as a lot of that is true, and it really helps you with your bottom line net profit, what doesn't help you with your bottom line net profit is allowing the competition to eat you up alive and just being unrealistic with the marketing spend that any modern day business should spend, unless you're a extremely well-known brand like Cadbury's, for example. Even them, they spend a lot on marketing, right? And that should give you a good example, right? But they don't have to in order to retain tons of sales. So my point here being, a lot of Amazon sellers, especially in e-commerce sellers, assume that they should not be spending anywhere near as much as 10% marketing, right? They hope that they don't have to spend that much. But unfortunately, you have to spend, I would say the goal should be to spend at least 10% of your revenue on ads, right? Now, the reason for that being is that if you stop promoting, if you stop running your ads on Amazon, you will start to lose fruition, right? Now, sometimes when you're launching products, you have to spend a lot more than when you're maintaining products. We all know that, right? But a lot of sellers get to a rank, and I've been guilty of this as well. A lot of sellers will get to a rank they want organically, and then they will turn off their ads completely, and they assume that they're just saving loads of money there. Unfortunately, what you're doing is dimming your future on Amazon if you do that. You always need to be running some ads, whether that's a couple of auto ads or ideally some manual, broad, phrase exact, always testing different types of manual ads on top of the auto as well, and doing a little mix between them both. You want to make sure that you can afford it, but at the same time make sure that you're getting enough juice out of your organic listings. Now, the only way to retain your organic spot on Amazon is by topping them up with PPC. It's just how it works, guys. Because it's such a competitive marketplace, there's always new sellers coming into it, and you have to make sure that you retain them spots once you put in the hard work to get them. So in terms of the amount you should be spending, I believe it's 10%. 10% of your turnover is a good allocation of what we should be allowing to spend on these sales. Now, some of you might be going, Hayden, I can't afford to spend 10% of my turnover on ads. Well, I don't know, maybe you need to look more at your margin then. Maybe you need to start launching products that are more profitable then, right? Because I know that we spent around about 10, sometimes 6, sometimes 7%, but ideally, especially around Christmas time with our seasonal business that we had, we were spending about at least 10% on ads, right? And that allowed us to not only retain the organic sales that we got, but obviously, if you got good margins, good products, good listings, it also allows you to retain a lot of the profit there as well, even from that ad spend as well. So you want it to be profitable, right? Now, when I say this, slight caveat, don't just splash 10% after listening to this video, assuming that you're profitable. You want to keep your TACOS at a good level, right? Your TACOS should be at a good level. The goal is 10 to 11%. If you're under 10 or 11% TACOS, bring it up. Like, you're missing out on sales. A lot of people don't understand that. They think that they've got a 1.5% TACOS and that they're doing amazing, and you are, but you're also missing out on a lot more sales there. If you're under 10 or 11% TACOS, that means that you're leaving a lot of sales on the table. Now, depending on how you want to run your business, you may prefer it like that, but bearing in mind of stuff that I just said about keeping fruition, keeping competition away, trust me, you want to be spending 10% TACOS. That should be your goal. And if you're not spending that, know that you're losing out on sales. If you're not spending around 10% of your turnover, you could be losing out on a lot of sales, right? Get yourself into a position where your business doesn't have to be stingy on the PPC because it's got so much margin and profit left over in your other products. Now, I hope that video has helped. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hayden. As I said, I own an Amazon PPC agency. If you want to contact me or my agency or any of the discount links I've got, hit the links below, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe.